Hi guys, this is Max here, back again with hopefully another great political video. And today we're going to talk about, very sadly, the worst gerrymanders of this election cycle, or as I should rather say, this redistricting cycle. Now, both the Republicans and the Democrats do gerrymandering, and to a certain extent, that is understandable. You're trying to help people of your own party. But there are some cases where gerrymandering is just so fucking bad. Somebody should jump in and stop it. Now, most of the time, Republicans are getting blamed for doing bad gerrymanders and for being horrible with it. But to be completely honest, this election cycle it's more like the Democrats who are not really playing by the rules and trying to make everything bad and undemocratic, which is very ironic since they call themselves the Democratic Party. We will also look at a Republican example, though. Now, we'll examine four congressional maps that, as I believe, were really done in a way that's not just advantageous to one party, but really horrific in every single way imaginable. There's Texas, Illinois, Maryland, and New York. California, you could say, favors the Democrats more, but to be honest, they do their redistricting by computer, so there's not really a way how this was manipulated a whole lot, but I'm a little suspicious. However, it's roughly how the map used to be. Whatever, I digress. Before we take a look at the Democratic gerrymanders, let's take a look at the Republican gerrymander. Excuse me. Now, the thing with gerrymandering in the state of Texas is that it's very common. The old map was already a gerrymander. It was supposed to make these suburban districts a lot more safe than they ended up being because they heavily trended to the left. However, these three districts there in the south were supposed to be heavily safe Democratic districts, and they were not even above 5% anymore during the last election cycle. Now, the Republicans did the following this time around. They extended these rural districts deep into the suburbs in order to make the areas around Dallas and Houston and Austin much more Republican. And they did end up creating some pretty questionable districts. I mean, this one has an arm that reaches all the way into the core city of Dallas. This district here, and I think we should zoom in a little bit in order to view that, it's only connected to one part of it by a super slim corridor. You can barely even see it. So this district, Texas's 24th, is really a terrible gerrymander. Now, the Houston area does not look too good either, but these two districts that wrap around each other are kind of bad. But in general, the Dallas area is pretty bad. And also this district that reaches from one side of Austin through a narrow corridor into the area between Austin and Houston. This one doesn't look too well either. So, Texas Republicans, I wouldn't say that this is an utter disgrace, but it's certainly not a pretty map. Now, we'll go to the map of Illinois. Just take a look at this district. I mean, come on, guys. There's this weird thing that's like a snake that goes almost from one side of the state to the other. And then there's this district that just has all the areas surrounding it in it. Now, the 12th district is the only Republican district that you could say is minorly normal. And what I'd like to say is, alright, fine. Let's give it to the Democrats. But no. No, we can't say that. Because they actually did a pretty bad gerrymander here. Mind that I'm being a dummy mander so that it favors the Republicans. Because the 17th might very much go Republican. So the 14th and the 6th, which is just a +6 Democratic district. But in general, this is intended at hurting Republicans badly, so it's quite a bad map. Now, Maryland has always been famous for bad gerrymandering, and it looks like they're gonna have one Republican district that's barely Republican, but this district here that used to be very safe Democrat is now just +11, and this one's +12, while they used to be all dark blue, and now they're a little more competitive. Yeah, that's just how it is. Well, it doesn't look so terrible, but seriously, man, Maryland, they are bitches. Just look at the shape of those districts. I mean, fuck. It's a disgusting thing to look at. So really, seriously. And then there's New York. Now, New York is something that I actually have to criticize, because if the Republicans, because two Republican maps, Ohio and North Carolina, were struck down, if those maps were struck down, then New York needs to be struck down. Because just take a look at this. Let's take a look at the New York City metro area. Take a look at this district. How far it goes down. Or that district. It like lumps areas together with one another that have nothing in common. I mean, the 10th district is really horrible. At a few points, it's just like a few roads wide. I mean, this can't stand, seriously. Like or also New York's 3rd district. I mean, it literally has the other side of the island on the district. Really, this is a terrible map, and everybody involved in creating it should be ashamed, because that's really not okay. And when Republicans did gerrymandering in the past, it wasn't right, but it doesn't make it all of a sudden right when the Democrats start doing it as well. So this map should go. The Illinois map should go. The Maryland map should go. And to be honest, also the Texas map really should go. Like, Republicans, Democrats, these 4 states, really bad examples. There's some other ways in which there were also some bad gerrymanders, but those were the 4 worst ones. And I really wish that the people wouldn't have made those maps, because they're terrible. Alright, now, I hope you liked this video today. It was about domestic issues, again, after I made a few videos about the Ukraine crisis, which I believe is very important, and stand with the Ukrainian people. I'm trying to get the message out as much as possible. I'm going to do a chapel speech at my school in a few days, talking about how Ukraine is supposed to be helped by the West, not directly with forces, but through sanctioning Russia and through providing arms. And yeah, if you want to keep being updated on the Ukraine crisis, feel free to subscribe to my channel and like the video down below. If you didn't like it, please leave a comment saying that you didn't like it, so I can improve my videos in the future. And yeah, I just hope that you guys are going to have a great day. I hope you like this video, and yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.